Hey there! Ever wondered about the shady world where big bucks and bad guys mix? It is not just a plot for a Hollywood thriller. It is real and it is happening on a global scale. Drug trafficking and money laundering aren't just bad news for the law. They're a twisted lifeline to many economies. Let us dive into this world of intrigue and see how it affects us all. Is it possible that the finance industry will be the source of the next major breakthrough in machine learning? AI data is the driving force behind this video, which is based on academic theory. Use the Oriental etching to discover the value of your life. Dynamic and complex systems make up the global economy. Their impact is constant due to policy decisions, market trends, and other factors. We attempted to find, even though we were influenced by these concerns, in areas in which concerns are exaggerated or misinterpreted. Hello everyone! Are you living a life that brings you happiness? Today, our focus will be on research on the latest trends in preventing and controlling crime across borders. Neural-like AI algorithms will be utilized to analyze the distinction between fact appearance and reality. Afterwards, the video tutorial commences. Due to the close contact with the globalized economy, the development of smuggling methods have been attributed to the spread of information technology. The boundaries of cross-border management have been invisible, starting with simple logistics and financial flows to information flow. Law enforcement agencies have a significant impact on the length of time it takes to conduct cross-border investigations due to this. Intelligence data indicates that the patterns of traditional organized crime activities like drug smuggling and migrant trafficking have undergone a subtle change recently. To hide their activities, international terrorist and criminal organizations employ trade fraud and money laundering. The possibility of entering multinational corporations and financial institutions has increased, which means there are more opportunities for activities that appear to be legitimate. Moreover, viruses such as pneumonia are brewing and spreading, despite the restrictions placed on the activities of international criminal groups. Minimize the profitability of certain activities carried out by the original organized criminal groups. However, it also offers opportunity for new criminal organizations to get started. Criminal groups in the legal markets have been greatly affected by this. The political and economic situation is causing turmoil in the world. For instance, the war between Hamas and Israel in their respective regions are experiencing rapid changes. Furthermore, in response to technological advancement and the transformation of cross-border trade models, the data produced by government agencies on a daily basis not only presents records of the national economy and the livelihood of individuals. Besides carrying the mission of changing times, it also opens up the prospect of future trends. Various prediction models have been created by a number of scholars in recent years, and appropriate analytical methods to identify clues for future development trends. By accurately predicting, administrative management efficiency can be improved, creating a plan for police investments and predicting cross-border raids. An analysis that is more accurate can be achieved. The issue of responding to cross-border searches requires us to actively confront it. We will use quantitative research and empirical analysis to investigate the changes in crime structure before and after the epidemic and interpret the implications of police action. Using AI calculations to construct a predictive model for cross-border crime monitoring is a way to promote efficient law enforcement. Contain activities that are illegal but not within the country. Criminals appear to be aware of the capabilities of law enforcement's X-ray equipment, as estimated by the arrest patterns in recent years. Deliberately stacking goods in a unique way prevents the machine from effectively detecting them. If the goods have been wrapped in lead or stacked in cylinders, for instance, then the performance of expensive instrumentation machines will be misled by this. Therefore, we need to think about ways to enhance cross-border management in the future, including the necessity to rediscover certain work areas. For instance, the term cross-border now encompasses more than just entities and has been extended beyond them. Thus, the substance abuse issue is not just a concern for law enforcement agencies, but also a substantial social problem worldwide. Organized crime is the usual form of drug crimes in the current situation. Because drug crimes lead to substantial profit for drug users, the drug ecosystem consisting of upstream, downstream industries could be established. The structure of organized drug crime varies in different aspects. The structural impact of organized crime and a more comprehensive drug control strategy should be explored. Therefore, it is important to explore the structural impact of organized crime and provide a more comprehensive drug control strategy. When social and economic conditions change suddenly, various mechanisms and methods can be employed by terrorist organizations to achieve their objectives. establish a presence within legitimate economic organizations. Commercial trade is affected by the economic blockade and cannot operate normally. For instance, in the event of a sudden lack of liquidity for enterprises, they use various methods to gain control of legitimate companies and other entities. Terrorist groups that lack a charter structure can actually pose a threat to the legitimate government in certain areas. There could be attempts to intercept some from global and cross-governmental organizations, including certain United Nations organizations. Steal as much as possible the public funds that can help people live up to their depreciation. In response to the rise of cryptocurrencies, the traditional financial system is becoming increasingly regulated. The lack of regulation in the global trade network has led to cross-border financial flows becoming illegal. Regulation is not a factor in the conduct of IFFs, which are done through secretive and intricate transactions, containing economic and financial transactions that go against the law across borders. The annual report of the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development identifies organized crime and illegal trade in goods and business practices, generating illicit financial flows that are worth billions of dollars. Commercial trade can lead to money laundering types and patterns, with the use of domestic financial accounts that overstate exports or understate imports. By using different forms of trade payments, it is deliberate to undervalue export goods and overvalue imported products, in an attempt to conceal the movement of capital by tax havens. Cross-border illegal capital flows are becoming increasingly serious, which necessitates research into overseas trade profits and cross-border illegal financing. Governments worldwide have been prompted to pay attention to money laundering and other illegal financial flows due to this. International trade has real conspiracies and intrigues, and the intertwined relationships are leading to conflicts. Money laundering activities are conducted by terrorist groups through cross-border financing, and they are then collected in a specific area. Illegal activities and crazy transactions are distinct from other fraudulent activities because of their unique characteristics. The financial footprint of the free trade area will be concealed and the financial system will face very high risks. All around the world, commercial, trade, market, and financial transactions are always happening, such as in mainland China, the United States, and Europe. Black money continues to flow around the world. Therefore, mechanisms for detecting cross-border financial transactions must be improved. Consequently, the mechanisms that detect cross-border financial transactions need to be improved. Cross-border finance is prone to financial fraud, including money laundering, which is a serious illegal and criminal process. The government's economy could be negatively impacted by the use of illegally obtained funds on terrorism or other harmful activities if not taken care of. In recent years, there had been a significant decline in the availability of natural resources due to climate change. In addition, numerous viruses are on the verge of spreading, which will disrupt the global supply chain, leading to shortages of raw materials and disrupting procurement procedures. This causes manufacturing and logistics functions to be unable to operate normally, which indirectly affects the manufacturing process of drugs and controlled substances. Additionally, the onset of financial crises, trade wars, and geopolitical wars will result in a rapidly increasing rate of global economic fluctuations. The development of resilient operating structures that can quickly respond to supply chain disruption will be necessary for companies. Disruptions have been caused to all aspects of life due to the pandemic and geopolitics. Particularly, manufacturing and international trade have been the most negatively impacted. The lack of security and stability occurs particularly during epidemics and wars. The development of the logistics supply chain and economic growth have been affected by issues like high external dependency and incomplete overseas land transportation networks. The problems caused by global production outsourcing in the past must be addressed by enterprises affected by the epidemic at present. Managing risks is currently the challenge faced by border governance. Supply chain decision makers have to take on the challenging task of minimizing the risk of supply chain disruptions. Short chains and regionalization will be the new organizational structure for the supply chain. Please remember, the illegal activity mentioned earlier, including money laundering, are a series and have an impact on each other. We developed a model to detect methods of concealing illegal sources of profit and integrate them into the legitimate economy. This process is critical to the investigation of cross-border crimes. Can we function without real-time monitoring? The ill-gotten profits can be enjoyed by criminals and terrorist organizations can become stronger without jeopardizing their sources. This illegal activity involves a complex system of commercial trade and financial transactions that occur across borders. Detecting fraudulent entities and their financial transactions will become more difficult for cross-border management agencies, financial supervision agencies, government security agencies, and other regulatory agencies due to this. It's a blessing that current information technology like big data AI analysis technology can help. The monitoring model we develop has the capability to generate the characteristics of commercial trade and entities in the transaction network through the analysis of complex trade and financial transaction networks. The abundance of cross-border trade data has intelligence characteristics, aiming at the processing of huge amounts of unstructured data with characteristics such as large amounts, complex interleaving, diversity, real-time accumulation, realness, fraud detection and concealment, and value creation. The model constructed in this video has the ability to explain research and prediction results through detailed analysis with success. The belief of this video is that data can be utilized as a production factor to generate core values. This video is constructed upon statistical theory and makes use of a quasi-neuromonitoring model, detecting fraud in international trade data collected from commercial trade and money laundering and cross-border finance is made easier with this method. It is extremely helpful for decision-making analysis and logical thinking when processing events. This higher volatility can also be seen in the yin and yang Yao hexagrams in the Yi Jing. The film will be analyzed for this phenomenon in the future. At this point, this video comes to an end today. When drug money infiltrates legit businesses, things get murky. It's like adding a splash of cola to fine wine. It just doesn't keep along, but sometimes you can even taste the difference. So, there you have this model. It has a global issue with economic, social, and moral implications that we can't ignore. Next time you watch a crime thriller, remember, the real story might be even more intricate and widespread. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. Don't overlook the importance of liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thanks you. 谢谢。